All right, everybody, we are back with Destash number 6. I think, is this Destash 6? I don't think we can count Square Hue as a Destash because it was just like, let's go through my collection. So I'm calling it. I think it's Destash 6, and if it's not, I'm sorry. But here we are. We are continuing on, pressing forward with our destash, decluttering, whatever you want to call it. I have many little cubbies opened up now because now all of my Square Hue reside in this lovely little box right here. You'll see that they're kind of divided into two because I have the polishes on the top need to be labeled with their swatch sticks, and the polishes on the bottom have already been partnered with their swatch sticks, and the swatch sticks have been correctly labeled and all that good stuff, so they are good to go. So today's destash is going to be an actual destash video. We're going to be going through polishes, picking out formulas that I like, getting rid of polishes I don't wear, polishes I don't care for, and of course, like we've done so far throughout this entire series, we are going by brand. So today's brand is going to be Wet n Wild. So I have like a cubby and a half full of Wet n Wild polishes. Most of them are Wet n Wild Mega Last because those are my all-time favorite Wet n Wild. That's my all-time favorite Wet n Wild brand. So I'm gonna pull all those little babies out, put them on my table. There's not very many of them, so this shouldn't be a very long video, but you know me, I get gabby, I get chatty, and before you know it, it's an hour and a half long video. So I don't know, maybe get a snack. We'll see how this goes. All right, let's get everything all set up. All right, we are getting wild with some Wet n Wild polishes. I love Wet n Wild, like especially the Wet n Wild Mega Last. This is my all-time favorite drugstore brand. I really wish they came out with more collections. There was a time there, probably was that 2 years ago, 2013, 2014? Maybe it was 2015. I don't remember. Don't quote me on it. But there was a moment there where they were doing tons and tons of these Mega Last collections, and it seemed like every season there was a new Mega Last collection, and now there's like not as many. Like they just don't seem to happen as frequently, which kind of makes me sad. But these ones, I mean, these are some really, really good ones. There are a couple of some Sinful Shine in here, and some, or not Sinful Shine, some Wild Shine, both the older bottles and the newer bottles that they've branded. There is also one of the gel one steps. I actually only have one of these. Maybe I should get more of these. But anyway, so the main reasons I love the Mega Last is because A, they're cheap. They're very affordable for the price. I feel like these are very comparable to Sinful Colors. Sinful Colors is usually cheaper than Wet n Wild Mega Last, and like honestly, like the quality is kind of the same as far as Wet n Wild and Sinful Colors, but for me, it all comes down to this wide brush. I love Wet n Wild Mega Last because of these brushes. They're absolutely fantastic. This is why I prefer Wet n Wild over Sinful Colors, even though Sinful Colors does do more with like their collections and they have more colors come out and they do more promotional things. I wish Wet n Wild did more with their Mega Last line, but even though they don't, I still love them a whole lot, and I especially really appreciate those wide paddle brushes because they are my favorite. So this is gonna be our typical like destash formula where we're just gonna go through each of these polishes one at a time. If there are any questions about formula or if I don't remember how these perform, I will be swatching them at the end of the video. But let's just jump in here and get started because I don't think I'm gonna be getting rid of very many of these ones because I love these ones a lot and I actually reach for them quite a bit. So most of these will be staying. Let's start right away with some of the cutest pastels you will ever find. This is Kiss My, oh, I forgot. We didn't talk about my nails. So I have painted my nails this week. This week we are looking at two colors. I have the Sesh color in the shade Sassy, and it's coming up a little bit washed out right now. It's kind of more of a hot coral, which I really, really like. On top of Sesh Sassy, I put Glam Polishes Wild Wild West Coast as kind of a glitter topper, so it's kind of got like a cotton candy, cupcake sprinkly kind of look, which I love. So that's what's on my nails, and I really like it. I think the glitter is fantastic. It also has kind of a multi-chrome shift happening in there too, so it's super saucy and super sassy, and I love it in the summertime because it just reminds me of candy, and I love it. So let's jump in with our first Wet n Wild Mega Last. This is called Kiss My Mints. I do not remember the collection this came from. It was either California Dreaming or the Silver Lake collection. I don't remember which one, but it is a very beautiful dusty mint color. I really, really like this polish, not only because of the wide paddle brush, but I do have a very soft spot for these minty greens, especially in the beginning of spring. I just can't help myself. I really love this one. I'm definitely keeping it. It is the Wet n Wild Mega Last brand, so I am keeping it. It's one of my favorite brands. Love this color so much. We're going to talk about these two next. These are both Wet n Wild Mega Last, both from different collections, but they have very similar color. They're very similar in color. One of them is Tree Hugger and the other one is Green Tease. One of these came from the Silver Lake collection and one of them came from California Dreaming. I just don't remember which came from which collection. They were basically a year apart from each other. I think they were both spring collections, but they were almost identical in color. But if you look at them closely in the camera, there is a slight difference between them. Like, it's very, very subtle, but there is a difference. There's this Green Tease is slightly more green and like a lighter green, and Tree Hugger has a little bit more blue in there. I mean, they're both really pastel minty greens, so it's not like, I mean, they're very, very close to each other, let's be honest. I do love both of these. Yes, they are very similar in color, but I don't know, there's something about these formulas and the brush. It's mainly the brush. They were also limited editions. That's why they have the white handle. So yeah, I'm keeping both of them. It's probably very greedy of me, but I will be keeping both. Here is a Wild Shine with the old packaging. It's obviously starting to separate. This is in the color Tickled Pink. It's an average cream. It's nothing to write home about. I mean, it's not bad for drugstore, and it definitely can hold its own. I just have many bubblegum pinks, and most of them are from Essie. There's a couple of Sally Hansen's. I don't need this. I don't need this, and I've never worn it. I think I've purchased it, worn it maybe twice, and I don't need it. I have so many bubblegum pinks in my collection that this one is just going unnoticed, and that's not fair. So I will be getting rid of this one. Next we have another Wild Shine. This is very old. This one is called Red Red. So I remember buying this one and this one. This is Lavender Cream from the same like Wild Shine line. They're very sentimental to me. They're probably they're definitely one of the first polishes from my, like, when I started my nail polish collection, because I've always had lots of nail polish growing up as a kid. But these were probably like the starters for my current nail polish collection. So I'm definitely holding on to these. The formula's actually not that bad. They've held up really nice over the years. I've never had to put restorative in them. They've always been very creamy, very nice on application. The brushes are a little bit on the thin side, but I mean, it's nothing that I'm not used to. It's not bad. I mean, I can't speak for the current formula with the new revamped bottles. I don't know. I'm only speaking off of this very old bottle of Wild Shine from like almost 10 years ago. So nice. Speaking of the new repackaged formulas, not gonna lie though, I am not a fan of these bottles. The lids are just weird. I wish there was a way that you could like pop off this part and just use the little like nubbin. I don't like the way it feels in my hand. It's a little bit odd. The brushes are fine. Like, the brushes are just as average and normal as you would expect from Wet n Wild. Nothing to write home about, just your medium length stem with like a nice long brush. Like, they're good. They're really good. I'm just not a fan of the handle. Not quite my cup of tea. But we do have two really pretty colors. We have Putting on Airs and Grasping at Strawberries. Very smooth, very creamy. Nothing that you can't find a problem with it. They're definitely opaque in 2 coats, no problems. However, my only problem is I have like a million bottles of these colors. I know I have an Essie that's very close to this one, and I mean, did we not forget all the sky blues I kept from OPI? Like, there are so many. So I will be getting rid of both of these just because I don't think I've ever worn these colors since I bought them, because I always reach for the Essie Strawberry that I have, or I always reach for my OPI Sky Blue or a China Glaze Sky Blue. So I'm just gonna get rid of both of them. I never wear them. They're perfectly good polishes. There's tons of product in there. I've never used them. There's nothing wrong with them. I just have other colors that are exactly like this that I reach for more. So I will be destashing those. Here's a Wet n Wild Mega Last that I have no idea where this one came from. I found it in like a clearance section at my Walgreens, so they must have like found it back in the stock room or something. This is called Up in the Air, and it's a blue jelly with like lots of iridescent glitter in here. This is not going to be opaque in any shape or sense of the word. It is definitely a topper. I do like these iridescent toppers. They're really fun to put on darker colors. However, I have plenty in my Sinful Colors. So what I want to do with this one is I want to test it out. I want to see if it's any different than some of the Sinful Color ones. If it's different, then I'll keep it. If it's not any different, then I'm probably going to get rid of it because it looks like they're just iridescent glitter. It's just packed with iridescent glitter. So I'm going to test this one out and we'll see how that one performs. Here's another one of these really old Wild Shines. This is in the shade Burgundy Frost, and it's really pretty. This is probably one of another really good fall color for me. I really dig and vibe on these really deep red shimmery berry colors in the fall time. It's just something that calls to me. I absolutely love it. I'm not remembering this one very well, and honestly it reminds me of some of the Square Hue polishes I just kept. So I don't know. I think I'm going to test this one out and compare it to other colors I have in my collection and see if it's dramatically different than something I already have. I will keep it, but if it's not, then I'll probably get rid of it. Here's another one of those pastel Wet n Wild Mega Lasts that are just beautiful. This one is in the shade Layout in Lavender. I want to say this must be from the Silver Lake. Again, with these white caps, they're either from the Silver Lake collection or the California Dreaming collection. It's a very dusty lavender lilac pastel. It doesn't look tremendously like vibrant. If you compare it to like this one here, you can tell it's a little bit on the dustier side. So I like it. Great formula. I love that paddle brush. Definitely holding on to it because, you know, I have brand loyalty. Here's another fun color from the Wet n Wild Mega Last line. This is a Latte Love, a very interesting grout gray. I cannot tell if there is a slight shimmer running through it or if it's just like smudges on the bottle. I think it's just a solid cream, but the formula is not bad. Like it's definitely creamy. I was able to get this one opaque in 2 coats, and I love that brush. It's just a color that really clashes with my skin tone quite tremendously, but I kind of like it, and I've used it for nail art. I've used this as a base color, and then I put brighter like stripes or chevrons on top of it, and it looked really good. So of course I'm keeping it. I have tremendous brand loyalty, and with it being a limited edition polish, that is another reason to hold on to it. Here's another one of those Wild Shine new packaging, rebranding, whatever you want to call it, from Wet n Wild. This is in the shade Blazed. And obviously I picked this one up because it's that awesome coral orangey peach that I love. I mean, I'm just so drawn to this color in the summer. It's just one of my all-time favorite shades. I will be getting rid of this one though, because I know I have at least two OPIs that are very, very close to this in color. I don't need more of this. I'm gonna get rid of it. There's plenty of product in here. I don't think I've ever even worn it, so this one can definitely go in the D-stash. This is a fun glitter topper that I've had this one for so long. And it's like, I don't know, it's interesting. This is from the Fergi collaboration with Wet n Wild in the color New Year's Kiss. It is an extremely, extremely base heavy glitter topper, but I love it so much. Like, I have used this polish so frequently for nail art and manicures and accent nails. Like, it's a lot of fun. I will be holding on to it because it is slightly on the rare side, and I actually do really enjoy it. So holding on to that one. Here's another Fergi, and actually this one I haven't used as much, but I picked it up because it was so similar to the other one. This is No Place Like Home. It is very, very similar to New Year's Kiss, except instead of dealing with silver, we're dealing with a nice ruby red. I've never worn this. I've never worn it. I'm gonna get rid of it. I never use it. I never have been drawn to using it, and I'm just gonna get rid of it. This is just your regular black cream. I have had this one in my collection for quite some time, and it does not look like it's doing so well. Can you see? I think it has gone the way of many. I probably could put some restorative in there. This is super thick. I could probably put some restorative in there and get it working, but actually with it being so thick, I kind of want to test it out and see how it stamps. Because sometimes when these polishes dry out a little bit, they become horrible to work with on the nails, but they are absolutely magical when it comes to stamping. So I'm gonna try stamping with this. If it performs nicely for stamping, I'm gonna hold on to it. So I'm gonna test that at the end of the video. The rest of these are all Wet n Wild Mega Last. The only one that's not like a true Wet n Wild Mega Last is the Gel Step Wonders. I know they have like a whole bunch of these that came out, what was that, like a year ago, a year and a half ago. I only bought one. I didn't feel the need to get the entire collection because there was mostly creams and there was no like sparkle or pizzazz to any of them. They were just creams. So the only one that I picked up was Periwinkle of an Eye because of course I am just obsessed with these like blurple periwinkle colors. This one is really, really nice. As far as the formula goes, I mean, they're okay. They're not anything fantastic or spectacular. I honestly don't see that big of a difference between these and the regular Wet n Wild Mega Last line. The only thing is that these gel steps are like $1 more, like they're more expensive. So I don't know. I think they're kind of gimmicky. I don't think they're really worth the money. If you want to get that super gel-like finish, just use a regular Wet n Wild Mega Last and just put a top coat on it. I don't see the point. This is the Sally Hansen Miracle Gel in the shade Sugar Fix. And I want to say these are almost identical in color. Like they're both this kind of periwinkle blue. They both have this like gel-like appearance or formula to them. They're very, very similar. So I'm going to get rid of the Wet n Wild one. Wet n Wild comes with 13 milliliters, and I believe these Sally Hansen come with 14 milliliters. So I'm gonna keep the Sally Hansen one. I'll be donating the Wet n Wild one because this one obviously has more product. They behave the same way, they have the same color. So, okay, now what is left are purely Wet n Wild Mega Lasts, both from collections, limited edition collections, and like their regular stock. There are several that I will be getting rid of because the formulas are horrible. An example being this one right here. I believe this is from the Silver Lake collection. This is called Stream of Consciousness. It is a very nice, light, beautiful, like cotton candy baby blush pink, but it's got like a little bit of a pearlized finish to it. It is extremely sheer. I remember having to do 3 to 4 coats to get this one opaque, and it took forever to dry. It's just not a great formula. I know it's limited edition, but I don't like it. I've never worn it. I tested it out once. Not a huge fan, so I will be getting rid of that one. I'm tempted to get rid of this one. This is Love Fest. This one also had a very questionable formula. It's a lighter bubblegum pink, but I remember the formula not being very good. I remember just being really disappointed with these pinks from Wet n Wild Mega Last because they were so incredibly sheer. I mean, you can just tell by looking at it and opening it up. It's a very sheer polish. So I'm gonna get rid of it. I have OPIs, like the Hello Kitty polishes from OPI that are very similar in this color are so much better. So I will be getting rid of this one because the formula just ticks me off too much. This one, I'm not sure about. This one is from a summer collection last year, I think. And this one is called Leaf Me Be. And I've seen lots of reviews on this and the formula is terrible. I myself, I don't think I ever got around to testing it out because I just got preoccupied with other things, but if I can remember from Phoebe's review and a couple other reviews I've seen, it's like a jelly, like a really bad jelly though, in the sense that it never really builds up. I can tell looking at it right now, I want nothing to do with this, so I'm not even gonna bother testing it. I'm just gonna get rid of it. This is another polish from that collection. This one's called Tulip Season. Really beautiful, in your face, bright, deep magenta. I don't remember how the formula goes on this one. I bought the polishes from that collection, but I never tested them out. They kind of got lost in my nail polish collection and I misplaced them. I never reviewed them. And so they just kind of got lost in the shadows of my polish room. So I want to test this one out. If the formula is good, I will keep it. It's not looking terribly promising right now. As I'm opening it, it looks like it's a jelly, but I will test it out and we'll see how that one goes. And here is the red from that collection. This is Poppy Culture. Maybe this one's not from that collection because it's got a black label, because this one has a white label. Maybe this one isn't from that collection. I don't think it is, but I'm gonna test it out anyway. This one's from that collection. because they're 3474, 3474. Yep, I don't think this one's from that collection at all. So disregard that. I will still be testing it out, but it is not a part of that collection. Poppy Culture and Cherry Blossom on Top. These are both from that Wild Bloom collection from 2 years ago, or maybe last year. I haven't tested these out. I actually don't know how these perform. I never reviewed these polishes. Like I said before, I bought them all, but I never reviewed them. So I'm gonna test these one out along with Wild Wild Violet was also a part of that collection. I don't remember. Really don't. It looks good. I mean, it looks great, but we are going to test it out just to make sure. So I'm adding that to the testing pile. So this is something that kind of makes me scratch my head a little bit. I don't quite know if this is someone like teasing me, or did something get mislabeled? I'm not sure. But here we have two colors from Wet n Wild. They're completely different. They're very bright. They look like they could possibly be from the same collection, because we've got a very bright like fuchsia purple and we've got a very bright magenta pink. These are both labeled Bubblegum Pop. How is that possible? How can both of these be Bubblegum Pop? They're clearly different colors. So I'm assuming one of these must be mislabeled. I would assume that the pink one is supposed to be Bubblegum Pop and this is something else. This is the imposter, but they're good polishes. They're really decent, like bright creams. I remember the pink being a little bit sheerer than the purple, but I mean, it's not bad. They're not bad. I mean, you do need to put them over a white base coat, but I like them. I like them. I love that wide paddle brush. I wouldn't kick it out of bed, let's just say that. So I will be keeping both of those, even though they're clearly labeled incorrectly, or one of them at least is. This one is called Candylicious. This has like 3 different names, Candylicious and Rose Bonbon. I don't know why it's got 2 different names, but it does. And it's gorgeous. It is so cute. It is a classic bubblegum pink, kind of on the muted side. It's not like really vibrant or in your face, but the formula on this one's really nice. Pretty creamy, pretty nice. Definitely gets you opaque in about 2 coats. Love that wide paddle brush. So holding on to that one. Along with this beautiful little gal. This is a reincarnation from the Silver Lake collection. I know for a fact this is from the Silver Lake collection. Gorgeous, dusty pink. It's really close to Flamingo Teeny Pink, but not quite. It's a little bit too dark to be compared with Flamingo Teeny Pink, but I love it. And it is that Wet n Wild Mega Last, so I'm keeping that one too. This is a beautiful one. Oh, I love this one. This is called Wear Skinny Jeans from the Silver Lake collection. A nice pastel blurple or indigo or whatever you want to call it. The formula is not bad. It's not bad on this one. It's actually quite creamy. It's very, very similar to another color from the Wet n Wild Mega Last. This is Breeze On By from the California Dreaming. So Wear Skinny Jeans came out first, and then California Dreaming came out the next season, or like the next year around the same season. The only difference between the two of them is that Wear Skinny Jeans has a very, very slight glassy shimmer in there. It's barely noticeable, even in the bottle. Like if you're looking at it in the bottle, like you can barely see it, which makes it almost impossible to see when it's on the nail. Of course, I'm gonna keep them both. They're beautiful, they've got great formulas, and they're limited edition, so they're almost like backups for one another, so it works for me. This is a lovely buttery yellow, which is so cute. This is called Beautiful. Nice, cute butter cream that is so lovely and fun to wear. I really do like this one. I'm not a huge fan of yellows, but this is one of those yellows that I actually kind of enjoy. It's very, very soft and very springy. So very cute, so very nice. I really like it, and the formula is not bad. Along the same lines is this one here from the California Dreaming collection. This is Sun Settle Down. I love this one so much. This one is so beautiful. This is definitely like probably my top 3 favorite Wet n Wild Mega Lasts, which is so weird because it's an orange. I'm not into orange, but these like creamsicle oranges, I cannot get enough of. And this one in particular has a really nice formula. It looks really good on my hands when I have a little bit more of a tan, like in the, you know, end of summer kind of color. This one is so very nice, and it makes me sad that it's a limited edition because I want like 4 backup bottles of this color. It is so beautiful. I love this color a whole lot. Here's Reject the Mainstream from the Silver Lake collection. A really nice, beautiful pastel lavender. Very, very different from Layout very different from Layout in Lavender. Like Layout in Lavender is dusty, and Reject the Mainstream is more saturated. So they're very different. They're different enough for me to keep them both. I mean, and honestly, I would keep them anyway because they're limited editions. But I like both of these so much. I love the dustiness of this one, but the vibrantness of this one. Like this one's good for spring, this one's good for summer. Like, they're both magical. And this is another one that's probably in my top 3 for Wet n Wild Mega Last. Like, this one's gorgeous. This is called Warm Filter from the Silver Lake collection, and it's really close to that Wild Shine that I got rid of, except it's more pastel, which for some reason I am totally into. I love this. I mean, this one's great, don't get me wrong, but this is magic in a bottle. It is so good, and the formula is really nice, very, very creamy, looks so cute on the hands. Oh, I love this color. It looks really nice on the toes too. This is such a beautiful color. I love it. And when partnered with this blurple from the collection, it's like a match made in heaven. Like, it's so cute. It's so very cute. Here is, I think this is from their core line from Wet n Wild Mega Last. It's a very, this one's called On a Trip. It's awesome. This is an awesome purple. It's like a lighter kind of grape purple. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Love the formula on this one. Super creamy, means business. You can get this one opaque in a solid 2 coats. It's so beautiful. Dries a little bit darker than what you see in the bottle, but oh, I love this one. It's a good one. Keeping that one, of course. So here is where we get into the dark vampy colors of Wet n Wild Mega Last that I adore. They have some really nice dark colors, and this one is gorgeous. I think this one is in their main core line, but I don't know. This one is called Purple Peacock. Beautiful, really, really deep blackened plum purple with a light purple shimmer running through it. You probably can't see it on camera, like there's a little flash of it there, but it is a gorgeous, gorgeous shimmer polish that I love. There's like a very subtle purple plum shimmer running in there. Oh, it's gorgeous. Just take my word for it. It's amazing. I love it. I think it's in the core line. If it is, you need to pick it up because it's gorgeous. Now we're gonna move on to the worst polish in the history of polishes. Like, I hate this polish, and I'm surprised I've kept onto it this long. I think it just got lost in my collection because this is the devil in a polish. This is Under Your Spell. I think I've talked about this polish before. It is so deceptive. It makes me so angry. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous red shimmer polish that you look at it in the bottle and you're like, oh my goodness, who are you? What is your name? I will buy you anything and everything you want in the world because you are magnificent. But then you go to put it on and it is the most sheer polish you will ever put on your fingers. Like, it is milky, it is disgusting, it is patchy, it is obnoxious. I hate this polish so incredibly much because of the deception. I love the color, it is beautiful, but you can tell just from me like working with it on this brush, it is so sheer. It is so sheer, I hate it. So I will be getting rid of this one because it needs to leave my presence immediately. I hate it. But let's move on to happier things. Happier times, happier times. Here's a nude from Wet n Wild Mega Last that I actually really enjoy. This is, I think, from their core line. It's called Private Viewing. I'm gonna have to test this one out. I'm not convinced. This looks extremely watery. And if that's the case, get out of here because I've got some other nudes. There's one from Essie that I have. There's one from Square Hue that I have that I enjoy. So this looks really watery to me. I'm gonna test that one out. Okay, so now let's do this one here. This is another like classic Wet n Wild Mega Last that I believe is still in their core like main line that you can find. If you were to go to like Walgreens right now, you might be able to find this one. This one's called I Need a Refreshment, and it's Wet n Wild Mega Last's like basic mint green. Gorgeous, gorgeous mint. Love this one, kind of a minty turquoise. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Formula is really good. It has separated over the years, but it still performs really nicely. Super, super thick, really, really opaque. You're able to get this one good in 2 coats. Highly recommend this color and brand if you're looking for a nice drugstore turquoise blue. This is a good one. I appreciate that one. So here we have Embellished Embellish Minted, which is a really beautiful emerald shimmer. We have Limelight, which is a very electric lime green with a yellow shimmer, gold shimmer running through it. And then we have Disturbia, which is a blackened plum with a shimmer. Now this Disturbia is looking very, very, very close to that peacock purple, or the purple peacock. Like, they look identical to me. It looks like the shimmer from Purple Peacock is stepping out a little bit stronger than Disturbia, but they're very, very close. I will be keeping both of these because since they are so close, I consider them backups of one another, and I'm gonna keep them both because I really love this color so much. This one's really good too, so we're keeping them as backups. I'm not usually that type of person that keeps backups, but for Wet n Wild Mega Last, I do backups. They change their core line every now and then, and when they do, they usually take out some of my favorite polishes, so I'm keeping a backup at that one. As far as these two go, I know this one's really nice. It's got a nice formula on it. It's opaque in 2 coats, beautiful shimmer, very metallic-y, gorgeous, a little brush strokey, but that's to be expected. I will be keeping that one. This one, however, the Limelight, I'm gonna have to test it out. I remember it being really watery. I remember it being very watery, and I think it might be close to a Sinful Color that I kept, or a China Glaze perhaps, but I'm gonna test this one out. I need to see how well it performs, because if it's good, I'll keep it. If it's not, then it will go away, because I don't need sheer polishes in my collection. Okay, now the remainder of these polishes here, these are all from the fall collection of 2014, I think. I think it was 2014, maybe 2015. This was a fantastic collection. Like, this was one of my favorite collections from Wet n Wild Mega Last. Like, it was just an awesome, awesome fall time collection, and I wish I would have gotten backups of more of these colors because they're amazing. Let's start with this first one right here. Keep Vinyl Alive, and it's a really dusty charcoal gray with a shimmer running through it. I know I've gotten rid of several of these gunmetal grays with shimmers before, but I will be keeping this one. The formula is really not that bad. It's quite nice, but I just love that wide paddle brush. I just can't get away from it. It's gorgeous. So I love it too much. I'm keeping it. Next up, we have another one from that collection from the fall. This one is Thrift Shopaholic, and it's a very deep, like jewel toned purple with a shimmer running through it. It's definitely lighter than the Purple Peacock and Disturbia. Like, it's lighter, and the shimmer is stronger, and it's very, very velvety and satiny when you add a matte topper to it, so I love it. This polish is amazing, great formula, love it, love it, love it. It is also a limited edition, so I will be keeping that one as well. This one, I was not actually anticipating liking this one as much as I actually do. This one is called I Moss Have It, and it is an olive green with a shimmer. I did not think I was gonna like this one very much because it is such a weird color. Not necessarily my go-to for fall time, but it's gorgeous. And I actually do enjoy quite a bit how it looks on my nails. The formula is so good. This whole fall collection from a couple years back was amazing. Oh, I really wish they did more collections because this one was so good. This one is Stop and Meld the Roses from that same collection. So it's a very beautiful burgundy shimmer polish that it's so beautiful. Like, it just looks like a satin red ribbon, and I adore it. It's so creamy, opaque in like 2 coats. Fantastic. Like, dare I say some of these might have even been opaque in 1 coat. Oh, they're just so good. Love these. Keeping them all. These ones are 2 of the same color. This is Getting Inked, and it's a deep, deep black purple. Like, I had to get 2 of these. Like, I just had to. There was something about this polish that spoke to me so deeply. It looks a little bit like an OPI polish that I either kept or destashed. I can't remember. But I just love these colors where they're so dark and they're almost black. Beautiful. So I had to get 2 of these ones because they just knocked my socks off, and I had to make sure I had plenty of it when they wore out. And this is the last one from that fall collection from Wet n Wild Mega Last. Pop Up Blue Teak, and it's so pretty. It reminds me of Sorcerer's Hat from Square Hue, one of my all-time favorite Square Hue polishes. It's this beautiful sapphire blue with a yummy, yummy, yummy shimmer running through it. And when you apply it to the nail, it is effortless, it is gorgeous, it is beautiful. If you really want to kick it up a notch, you add a matte topper to it to make it look like velvet, but just, it's liquid. It's a liquid sapphire, and I love it. Of course, I'm keeping it. I wish I could have found a backup bottle of this color too, because it's beautiful. It looks so good on the toes in the summer too. It looks fantastic. Oh, love it. It's so electric. It's so yummy. All right, so that's it. That's all I have. All right, so here are the polishes that we're gonna test. I have my nail wheels here ready to go. Let's start with this brown that I have here. I'm just gonna test this one out real quick. I don't really have high hopes for this one. I think it's going to be pretty average and, you know, mediocre for me. I have some shimmers that are very similar to this from Square Hue. And I'm really not blown away by this one bit. I think there are some Square Hue polishes that I just went through that I would probably reach for before grabbing this one. It's okay. I mean, the formula is great. It worked really nicely. The color's okay. I just feel like I have other things in my collection that I would reach for before reaching for this. So I'm gonna get rid of it. Next, we're gonna try this green. I'm really curious about this green. So I'm hoping it behaves. It actually, it's hard to tell because I'm painting on an opaque nail wheel in the first place. I actually really like that. It's super like shiny. It's super like sparkly and it's got a nice shimmer in there. I think I'm gonna keep this one. Okay, and go to the new nail wheel and we're gonna try out this Wet n Wild that I never tried from a collection, I think last year. This is the Cherry Blossom on top, a really nice mid-tone magenta pink. I love this wide paddle brush. Oh my goodness. Yep, this is a good one. This one would definitely be opaque in like 2 coats. Oh, that's gorgeous. Like, oh, I love these brushes. They're so nice. I'm holding on to that one. That's a good one. Okay, next up is going to be the hot pink. This is called Tulip Season. We will try it out. It almost looks like a jelly to me. I don't think I'm gonna keep this one. It's very neon-esque, but I know I would need a white base coat on this, or I'd need several coats to build it up, so it's not worth it to me. I have other neons that I appreciate more, especially from Orly. Orly has fantastic neon colors and neon formulas. I don't need it. I don't need it one bit. Next up is Wild Wild Violet. I remember buying them and seeing them when they came out, but I don't ever think I did a review on them. This one is surprisingly watery. Were these all supposed to be jellies or crellies? Because this one should not be that watery if it's a cream. I don't like it. I don't like watery creams. Like I'm not a crelly type person, and I'm gonna get rid of that one. We're going through these swatches like nobody's business. This is Poppy Culture. Beautiful kind of deep reddish orange. I'm hoping this one has a better formula than those last two because they're all from the same collection, and now I'm worried that they're all like kind of poopy. This one's nice. This one's a lot nicer. It's still a little bit on the sheer side, but there's more oomph to it. I love that. Oh my goodness, I love it. Yep, I'm keeping that. Last Wet n Wild we have, before we test out that the glitter and the stamping one, is Private Viewing. It looks really watery, you guys, so I'm probably gonna be getting rid of this one. Yeah, yep, oh my goodness, yes, look at that. Yep, that is gross. I'm not even gonna, like, nope. Be gone. So now we're going back to this black. It's kind of dry, but not really. We're just gonna throw this iridescent glitter topper and see if it looks different than that Sinful Color one that I got. So let's see. Oh no, that's different. It's almost like slightly holographic. Not really. It's just different iridescent shimmers that have like purple. That is really, really something. It's not just iridescent glitter. Like there's a blue shimmer in there. There's like green in there. There are some iridescents that are changing, but like there's also like a subtle base of blue. I really like that. I'm gonna hold on to that. That is something to hold on to. That is so interesting. I wonder, does this work on its own? I don't think this works on its own because I've tried it and it doesn't build up enough. Yeah, it doesn't build up enough on its own. It's definitely a topper, but it's not like your basic iridescent. It's got like blue in there. Can you see that faint shimmer of a blue glitter? Whew. Yep, I'm keeping that. That is so beautiful. Okay, cool. Now the last thing we have to do before we depot is the black cream. So I'm gonna grab a stamping plate and a stamper and we're gonna see how this stamps. We're gonna do this little skull here, this little calavera, and then we're gonna do these cactuses down here. I think it's gonna be really good for stamping. Scrape, scrape, scrape. Pick it up and stamp. Oh, wow, look at that. That is not bad, my friends, and it's super, super dark too. Let's try the next one. So I'm curious to see how it's gonna perform with these like bigger chunks, like open spaces that need to be stamped, like if it's gonna be opaque. Okay, we're gonna scrape it. Boom, 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 boom. Pick up the image and stamp it. Oh my goodness, that is magical. Look at it. Some fading around that big cactus, but it picked up a very large image. That is incredible. Oh my goodness, I had no idea this was such a good stamping polish. Like, well done, black cream. You just saved yourself from the destash pile. I think I found myself a new black polish to stamp with. This is amazing. Oh, I'm gonna have to put these with my stamping polishes. This is a good one. Okay, so I'm gonna file the rest of the Wet n Wilds away and I will show you how much like progress we've made and all that good stuff. So I will see you guys in a minute. All right, so here we are. I've put all of the Wet n Wild polishes back in their little cubbies. Some of them have started here and then they are finished up on this side over here. So I'm down to like 2 cubbies of Wet n Wild, which I think was what I had started with when I started this whole thing. I had 2 cubbies of Wet n Wild, but they were actually doubled up. I don't know if I didn't mention, I don't think I mentioned that at the beginning of the video, but the 2 cubbies were doubled up with polish. So I've actually trimmed them down quite a bit. So now the next brand that we're gonna be looking at is going to be Zoya. My Zoya collection has been growing quite a bit over the past couple of, like maybe the past year. My Zoya collection has grown quite a bit. So you notice that I have some starting here. There's a whole bunch in that middle cubby. Actually, that middle cubby I think is doubled. I think there's double polishes in the back there. And then there's another cubby off to the side here. And then I have more Zoya in that extra basket I have under my desk. This one right here, right behind me, I have like the winter collection in there as well. I do want to purchase the current summer collection right now from Zoya, but I don't really have the funds for it, especially since we just bought a brand new air conditioner. So I will be leaving space for the new summer collection from this year because I definitely want the whole thing from Zoya. I just have to wait till we recuperate from our very large home expense. But we will talk all about that in my next destash video, which will probably be coming out next week. But that is my video for today, you guys. I really hope you enjoyed destashing with me and going through my polishes, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!